What's up guys, Reviewz here for Gaming Rewind on the EarthBound series, known as the Mother series in Japan, created by Shisato Itoi. The name Mother comes from the John Lennon song of the same name. EarthBound is an RPG series that takes place in the modern day, that while has some elements of conventional RPG gameplay such as party members, there are also interesting quirks like using household items as weapons. The series provides a stark contrast to the usual sword and sorcery medieval settings of many fantasy RPGs. The first game in the series, Mother, was released for the Famicom in Japan in 1989 and tells the story of a young boy called Ninten, who has psychic powers and along with several friends, has to save the world from an alien invasion. At the time, many RPGs were focused on fantasy settings, however Mother was set in the then current 1980s in the United States, although the story was told from a Japanese perspective. The game takes place in two different areas, the field map and battles. There is no overworld, instead towns and villages are connected with larger areas like mountains. When in towns, the player can buy items from shops and rest in hotels. Ninten can also ring his dad, who will deposit money in his bank account, which can be withdrawn from ATMs to buy items, as well as being able to save your progress. When in battle mode, the game switches to a first-person view, where the player can issue commands to other characters in a turn-based system. Players gain experience points upon winning battles, which are then used for characters to level up, like most RPGs. When a character loses all of their hit points, then they are transported to the hospital where they must be revived. Mother was planned to be released in North America under the title EarthBound, with all advertising and English localization complete. However, the game was never released, mainly due to the imminent arrival of the Super Nintendo, and the feeling that a game for the NES would prove to be unprofitable and would get lost in the shuffle because of the new console. The game has since become known as EarthBound Zero in the West. The sequel, EarthBound, known as Mother 2 in Japan, was released for the Super Nintendo in 1995. The game revolves around a psychic boy named Nez, who embarks on a quest to repel the alien Gygas from the Earth. Nez must find 8 sanctuaries in order to be powerful enough to confront Gygas. The game features many of the same settings and similar characters from its predecessor, although with the story now taking place in the 90s. Unlike the original game, EarthBound does not make use of random encounters in battles, but rather when the player makes contact with an enemy, battle begins. As players take damage, the HP box rolls down, giving the player the opportunity to stop the counter at a certain place, which can prevent a member of the party from actually dying, even if they receive a fatal blow. At this time, a sequel to EarthBound entitled EarthBound 64, or Mother 3 as it was known in Japan, was due to be released for the Nintendo 64 DD, the optical disc system for the Nintendo 64. The game was delayed numerous times as a result of the creative team's inexperience with 3D. After the Nintendo 64 DD was a commercial failure in Japan, production was moved to the Nintendo 64 itself, where it was eventually cancelled. However, Mother 3 was remade for the Game Boy Advance in 2006. The game is set on Nowhere Islands about 1,000 years after EarthBound, and focuses on the two main characters, Lucas and Klaus, and their fight against the Pigmask army. Gameplay is similar to other entries in the series, where battle takes place after physical contact has been made with enemies, as well as the rolling health system, where it is possible for severely damaged characters to heal themselves without dying. Mother 3 also features a rhythm-based system, where players must tap buttons in time with the beat of the background music. Players can use varying tempos to put enemies to sleep. Currency is introduced late into the game as the inhabitants of Nowhere Islands use a gift-giving system. Currency in the game is referred to as Dragon Points that are earned from defeating enemies. The game is the darkest entry into the franchise, as it deals with themes of family loss and the perils of consumerism that the Pigmask army bring to the Nowhere Islands. The EarthBound series is a unique RPG franchise that shows what a game of the genre could look like if it was set in modern times. It's a shame that only one game in the series was ever released in the West, as its rich story and combat system makes the EarthBound series a true cult hit that needs to be played by everyone. Well, that's the end of this installment of Gaming Rewind. Thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, then show that like button some love and give me some feedback, as I always appreciate it. For updates on what I'm doing next, be sure to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. So until next time, peace out guys.